Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for November 1st. We are looking at the U.S. Japanese yen pair. This particular pair gapped down 33 pips at the open. We are looking for this gap to be completed or retrace the gap prior to Friday's close. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways. It did close down on Friday. We are looking for it to have a bias that is sideways as well. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 92.06, possibly as low as 89.30. Look for some resistance around 90.23 and look for some support around 88.81. Now, switching over to the Euro-USD pair, this particular pair closed down, did form an inside bar, so you could look for a breakout. This particular pair we are expecting to move sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 149.31, possibly as low as 146.46. Look for some resistance around 148.26 and look for some support around 146.83. Now, switching over to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed down, did form an inside bar, so keep an eye on that for a breakout. We are expecting this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for this particular pair to move potentially as high as 166.72, possibly as low as 163.15. Look for some resistance around 165.50 and look for some support around 162.81. Now, let's take a look at the US Swiss. This pair closed up. It is moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially move as high as 1.0332, possibly as low as 10097. Look for some resistance around 10286 and look for some support around 10155. Now, as far as news announcements go, we have the U.S. ISM manufacturing for October being released at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. The consensus on this is that things have improved a little bit from 52.6 to 53.0. We also have the Reserve Bank of Australia releasing their rate decision tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on this is that they're raising rates from 3.25% up to 3.5%. If this is the case, then we could see an increase in the carry trade with the Australian dollar. We've seen an increase for the past several months of that with the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, and to some degree the pound with the carry trade moving into action. Definitely look for this to come out. Definitely look for this rate decision to come into play, though, as far as the upward movement of the Australian dollar. Now, as far as trades go, I'm looking at two different things I wanted to show you. One is a scalping trade. It's actually a gap scalping trade in the 5-minute on the 5-minute chart. Let's zoom out a little bit. If you take note of our low here that we had, well, we've already started the breakout of this one. I was basically looking for a breakout of this high and looking for it to close this gap 7 pips very quick. I realize that's only like a 3 or 4 pip overall profit, but at that point it's going to go to break even and look to grab 17 pips at the close. We know that this pair gap down 33 pips. There's a great chance that it will retrace back to the previous session's close. So at that point, you could look to grab even more, but basically use this as a point to go to break even. It's a quick little trade. It looks like it's already started its move. So hopefully you saw this ahead of time. Now, the other trade that I'm looking at is in the pound US dollar pair. This particular pair, let me zoom in a little bit. We have a pivot low here, and it's a 4 qualifying bar pivot low. We have a pivot high here that is a 4 qualifying pivot bar high. So we have 2 potential breakout points, one at this point and then one here. Now, we also had an inside bar that was created on Friday. This has come down already It has not broken today. It has not broken the low. It came close within about 7 pips of breaking the low. So what I'm looking at, we know that inside bars have a potential to break out. And what I'm looking to do is basically grab some pips going from the breakout of the inside bar and up to the pivot reversal point, because sometimes in the pound, about, I don't know, 45-50% of the time when it hits a pivot reversal point, it will bounce off of it. Sometimes it pushes through it. Sometimes it bounces off of it and then pushes higher. But basically, we are looking for that movement. I do believe we'll get that movement during this next session, unless we have continued consolidation down, which in that case, that's just good news, because the next session we'll have even a better chance of it breaking out in our direction. Now, what that looks like basically for us is, to the upside, we've got probably about 80, 90 pips or so. And to the downside, we've got about an 86 pips. So very similar as far as the distance that we're looking for. Use a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I'd go ahead and put in both these trades, so no matter which direction it hits, you should get some profit out of it. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.